Just a couple of things here, to get right to questions. We're in a very good spring. Just really excited about the work we got, even continue today. More individual technique, fundamentals, working on the things we got to do to get better. We've got two young quarterbacks that I believe have tremendous high upside, and just got to keep building those guys, developing them. Got our weapons, we just got to keep getting better in every phase. These next several months are going to be huge. Really positive, and it's a big deal is getting out of the spring healthy. Had 0 long-term injuries, had some guys that missed some days, but nothing that's going to be past probably the next month, so that's hasn't been the case the last several years, so that's a big deal to get through it, to be able to be healthy and to come through and have a great summer. So finish out academically strong here, 2 weeks in the weight room, and then we got finals, and then we'll have the month of May and then June and July. So feel like we made progress. I really wanted to develop our toughness as a team as a huge priority, and obviously we'll watch this and create some things off of that, but got some good situations to work through. But more than anything, just want to get everybody involved today and have a good positive opportunity for our fans and be able to have some interaction there with them. So it's been a very positive spring. Excited about where we're at. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. Questions?
Matt Weaver, then Zach.
As far as the quarterback position, I mean, I know a couple weeks ago you said back and forth. Are you guys still in that position? I mean, are you ready to name a starter, or are you going to take it into fall camp?
We're not going to name a starter. So, but I think that we'll sit down with them, talk to them, kind of tell them where they are, and that part of it, from exactly if we were going to play a game tomorrow kind of thing. We'll tell those guys that open, honestly. But to name a guy, no, we're not ready to do that yet. I think they got a lot of work ahead of them. I think I know the summer's going to be huge. Fall camp's massive. But anytime you get two talented young quarterbacks, I think you can see out there they both have skills. They can both throw it, they can both run it. And so that's going to be a big part of what we want to be able to do is be able to take advantage of their skill sets and maximize our run game and our throw game. So I think the bottom line is going to be who's able to do that to the highest level, protect the football, and move our team down the field.
Zach and Sammy.
I recognize you don't want to talk too much X's and O's, but it seemed like what we saw in the spring, there was some creativity with the run game, getting multiple guys on the field, using some pre-snap motion and things like that. Do you feel like you've got more flexibility, more options, maybe more ability to be different in the run game this year because of the guys you've got?
I agree, and that would be, the whole objective. And obviously, it wasn't a nationally televised game, but obviously open to the public. You never know who can be sitting in the stands watching us from our first week opponent. So that's understood as well how we did things today. But at the same time, I want to maximize that room. I think Jalen gives you some unique skill sets there that we're going to have at our disposal, and obviously he's going to be a very critical part of all that. So I'm encouraged by what we can do with our guys. I think we got talented receivers on the outside, got some good slots. I think that you saw some glimpses today of some of those receivers, what they can do. And also we know what Jalen can do, and I think Josh Anderson's a special back. And Christian Turner was one that didn't get to practice much. He did have an injury early in spring, but it's nothing long term. But he probably could have gone later, but we want to keep him 100% healthy. He's a very talented player. So I like that room a lot, and feel like we got some more flexibility out there. We got to run the football. We got to run effectively, just some different levels for that, for our defense, for our offense, for our team, for late in the game, finishing out fourth quarter games, and so huge emphasis without question.
Tyler's fine for Ohio State, just
So you're the guy, huh?
All right, Sammy and Jack.
You're the mole.
Coach, Andre Carter seemed to be in the backfield all day, had a handful of sacks. Just how does he develop this spring? How do you judge him on a game where you can't tackle the quarterback?
Yeah, so I would say he was, as we recognize him there, he was the MVP of the defense, he and Noah. It was that way about every day. He's 270 pounds. He's the biggest, most physical one we've had here since I've been here, and very disruptive. Got to get him in elite shape. He's not there yet, but just really excited about him. He's a great kid. He's bought into everything we're all about here, and I believe that you're right. He's got to get him. We never tackle a guy live, but you can tell what he can do, and so it's about, I think, even just the details of his technique that he'll improve this summer as well. But yeah, he's a very good football player. Glad he's with us now. He's got a chance to prove he belongs in the Big Ten.
Jack and Seth.
Tom, pretty young tight end room with
really Aaron Steinfeld and Bama kind of being the only guys. What do you like about some of those younger guys that are maybe freshmen and sophomore, and what have you seen from kind of Aaron's development?
Yeah, I tell you what, as he was listed, Aaron was one of our most improved players. It was pretty obvious. I will say this, though. I think having to go against Andre Carter every single day, he would admit it. Sometimes there were some long days, for Aaron, having to go against him physically, but it's helped him a lot. He's grown a lot. He's got way more physical, his footwork, his hand placement. He's always had good ball skills. He's had a really good spring for us. He needs to continue to develop that over the summer. As you mentioned, we got a very, very young room. Sam West is a guy that's really kind of been a pleasant surprise. Did a really good job this spring, was actually up for even potentially most improved as well. And, once we get Trey back and we get those older guys back that are dinged up right now, it's going to be a group that are going to be by committee without question, and also look to add an older guy, in the portal, which we got opportunity to do that here, hopefully in the near future. So, but that's definitely an important room for us without question. But I think you see some young guys there, and Brody Foley's the one that hasn't gotten near as many reps. He was back. He's in a blue jersey. He could do everything from skelly on down. He didn't do anything more than that physically, but he's 250 plus pounds. He can move. He has good ball skills. So he's a guy we need to bring along this summer and this spring, and he's going to be, I think, a big key for our success up front is being able to have a guy like him that can do both things. So love that room as far as just the way these guys work. Coach Wright does a great job developing them, and they need more development, and that's just part of being young. And Bamba James is going to do a great job for us. He was out, had postseason surgery. He'll be back full bore here this summer. So, but he also provides tremendous leadership for us as a member of our team.
Seth and Pete.
Coach, coming out of the first full spring with Coach Post out on the offensive line, what impact do you feel like he's made on that group? How much progress have those players made, and which individuals have stood out most?
Well, I think, it's like I said, it's always hard when you don't go full bore. We did some live goes throughout the spring, didn't do it today on purpose. But I love what I see, and it's all, I think it's the cumulative effect of just all the pod work and all the reps over and over again, the physicality just over and over and over. I think Khalil Benson's probably made the most growth seeing him. Zach was having a great spring. He got, lower leg injury that's not going to be long term, but we set him out here the last couple of weeks. But he was progressing at a high level. Getting Matt back is going to be huge for us, obviously. And I would say that, Max Longman's the one that's going to have a chance to help us, really like him. And then I think Michael Cady coming in, adapting to a new coach and being able to just elevate his game and continue to get better is going to be huge. And Josh Sales, we're going to keep challenging him. He's got to step up. I want him to. I believe he can. Carter Smith's another one that we expect to be competing to start, and going to be battling for those spots. But those are all young guys that need to keep developing. I've responded well to Coach. I love his approach. He's a no-nonsense guy. Doesn't smile a whole lot, and it's okay, but he never cracks too many jokes, and it's all ball, it's all business, and our guys understand that. So I really appreciate his approach, and I think we're going to be a lot better because of it.
Pete and Kevin.
Tom, what do you mentioned the importance of this summer. What specifically are you looking to get achieved this summer?
Well, first of all, there's just we talk about fourth quarter mindset. It's been a focus all spring long. It's part of that mental toughness piece, physical toughness piece, and one part of that. And there are three things we focus on. One of them is the word focus: pre-snap keys, post-snap technique and execution, and then there's the one in the middle, which is trusting your preparation. Okay, and that's the key. Is that to get in elite shape, to be able to, it's all going to be fourth quarter driven. It's all going to be how we're going to finish in the fourth quarter from a physical perspective, to be able to dominate your opponent in that situation, win those third downs, win those critical downs. And you have to have an expectation that I don't get tired. They're the ones that get tired. And that has to be built. And that's over the summertime. And that's to be able to maximize our conditioning. We're going to bring in some other groups to bring in to build our team and do some things where it's team building and toughness building and shared adversity over the summertime, creating that with our guys through our strength staff and through some groups we're going to bring in as well from the outside. To me, it's just about building the toughness to be able to finish, the conditioning that you trust. They've given us OTAs now that we're able to do, and that continues to kind of expand in our roles with those. And so there's going to be 6 of those in the month of June with our full staff, which is unprecedented in the past. And so that allows you to be able to really prepare them in the month of June more than we ever have in the past. So that to me is a big, big deal. And so it's not just the lifting and the conditioning, all this part, it's also the timing of the receivers. 2 young quarterbacks, all those timings have to happen together. They have to do that on their own. We can't throw the ball with our coaches there, but you got guys that have both been here in the spring, got all these receivers here right now. We have one more coming that was here with us today that's going to be here in June, and DeKeith Carter, who's a very, very talented player. And so I really like that room, but they got to come together. They got to get the timing down. That happens during the summertime. And so to me, summer's massive. massive. It's going to be big for us. Our guys understand that. We make a big deal about it. We talk about May mattering, even though it's a time away for them. They have to still continue to train and work, and they learn to work like a professional, because that's what the pros have to do when their time's away, is to be able to have a great plan and come back, to work on June 1st. So it's a big part of our next step, and that's all will be the focus right now. So this chapter's done. Now moving into having the best summer we've had since I've been here.
All right, Kevin and Tyler.
With the spring being over right now, I guess what group on the field are you most comfortable with right now? And also going into the summer, which group are you kind of expecting to maybe up the intensity?
I want them all to up their intensity. I just think I'm never going to let up in any way whatsoever. But I think a running back room, and think about offensively, that sticks out to me. I love the way they come to work every day. We got a lot of group. Trent Hallen didn't finish out. He had a minor injury, but it's 5 guys there that I really believe are really good football players and give us a lot of weapons. And then I think defensively, I like the depth of our safeties. Even though there's some young guys there, there's a lot of guys there. And the ability to, and we've had some issues in the past where you get one guy goes out and there's a major drop off. And so you got a chance to have I think our whole secondary, even though there's some new faces, there's more length there, there's more volume there, and I like that group of guys. I want to see our D-line to continue to have a domination mindset, to be able to take a game over. I think I like the way Linnell Carr can give us a pass rush. He's got a twitch to him that's different. Miles, we set him out during the team goes today, but he's had a great spring. He's a tremendous leader. You had Phillip, and you had Marcus Burris and that crew as well, and then you had DeAndre Carter. That's some big men there. 300-pound guys. We already know how big Marcus is. Bottom line is that I believe that you're only as good as your guys up front. I want to see our O-line to continue to go from here to the next step this summer, in their strength and their mindset and their toughness. So I could probably mention all the groups, but as far as I've mentioned the 2 that stick out to me, everybody's got to elevate, continue to work, and that's what we have to do as a staff. Our strength staff will do a tremendous job of taking the baton now and finishing strong during the spring.
Tyler and Zach last one.
We talked to Donovan, and he had basically said how he changed his diet, wanted to get leaner and faster. I guess, what did he come to you kind of as talk to you about him wanting to do that, and how have you seen him kind of developing from like a nutrition and getting in better shape?
Well, here's what I said. So when we met postseason, I said, you have no idea how good you can be. You got no idea. Okay, and so when he went away and came back from the break, we sat down again. Okay, and we mapped out specifically what he's going to do. But he came to me. He said, Coach, I want to play a little lighter. I said, I'm good with that. Let's get you with Coach Wellman, get your exact diet down and square, because he kind of knows what he wants to be able to do. And to me, that's a huge part of this. And so it's about core confidence. It's about dominating the guy across from you, and the fact that ball is in the air and anywhere close to me, I'm going to catch it. You saw him make a phenomenal catch today. He does that throughout practice. I want him to do that consistently. 2 hands. No one should be able to guard him. He's 6'5". He's a 200-pound guy that can run and jump. And I feel that he has tremendous skill. And I'm not going to quit saying it. He can be as good as he wants to be. But I do think that he has now figured out this isn't just show up and practice hard. This is a 24/7, 365. That's my sleep habits, my diet, what I put in my body to lay myself up so I can be more explosive, run faster, get out of my breaks better, and allow him to be able to be a better receiver. So I think Coach Tucker, we've had some really good receiver coaches here, and we got another one that I think is excellent as well. And so I think he's responded to him really well, and I'm excited about what he has decided he wants to do. And I'm just another guy's got to have a great summer, and I believe he will, because it's starting to click on the inside, and I think that's a big part of the next step for him.
Zach last one.
I want to ask you about the different summer calendar and how it changes. Either maybe you feel like you can do different stuff in spring to set up the summer, or you feel like maybe you can say we don't need to worry about doing this in the spring because we've got the summer where we didn't a few years ago. Like, what's just different about the way you can approach the spring season, knowing the summer calendar and what you can do with your guys is a little different?
Yeah, so let's give you a specific example. So usually, like the last couple practices during the springtime, we have to set the stage for all the drills we want the players to do during the summertime, because we can't be there. Okay, so it takes some time to get that taught. You go through all those different things. Well, now we didn't do any of that. Okay, we actually did individual, we did fundamentals all the way up till today, So we got so much more work on that, because now we're going to be with them in June, to be able to be during those individual periods where we don't have a football out there, we're not throwing the ball, we're just doing, it's conditioning, but it's technique and fundamentals. And so that's it, to me, is a big difference. And then the ability just to do some things holistically where you can even have install. The install is even more aggressive, way more aggressive, because here's the thing. In the past, everything we did was player-led practice. You know how that goes. Okay, sometimes you get nervous because you can get bad habits. You know, what you're all just doing skeleton, you know, past skelly. Well, if I can't, which we couldn't be out there, you can't video it, you can't watch it, you can't correct it. Players have to correct themselves. You have to rely on them to tell you the mistakes that were made and working through it. So that's a little bit, you know, always made me nervous. Because then you got to undo some of that when you get into fall camp. So now you don't feel like that's the case anymore. And so now we can't do skelly with them, but we can do some things with no ball and teaching those concepts. So I just feel like that it's definitely more. You're trying not to make it to where it's burdensome. Then you don't want them to come into fall camp burn out and already kind of, you know, feeling like they're not excited about the start of the season, so we don't want to do that. But I feel like that we got to maximize it. So that's why we've actually done more in June, actually a little bit less in May. Even though they're going to do some things in May, we want them to get away in May as much as they can, because I think that's important, because if not, it's year round and they never get a break. And you want them to be able to have that. So it's kind of been an adaptation for us, what you do in May, which sets up what you do in June, because June is way more active than it used to be. And so then that sets us up for a good July, where coaches need to get a chance to get themselves away a little bit so they can come back refreshed, because June is camps, it's recruiting, we have official visits, we got OTAs, got a lot of things going on. So June is really, really intense for the coaches, but that's just part of it. So they get their chance to get away a little bit in July, if that makes sense. So you got to kind of mesh all those together to get it to where everybody's getting a chance to maximize the calendar, come back refreshed, so you can be ready to start on July 31st this year. We report back for fall camp. First practice is going to be August 2nd. So that's how it works, that's how it looks, but it's a great question. We've had to adapt, and I feel good about where we are.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Appreciate you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Elliot.